It is time now for Better Money. Joel Johnson is a certified financial planner and managing partner at Johnston Brunetti. He is here today along with retired FBI agent and Connecticut native Jeff Lanza. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here.
It's great to be here, Kara.
So one of the reasons you might be wondering, why do we have an FBI agent and a financial advisor? And that's because we have so many scams going on out there, and there's so much issue with identity theft and all of that. So, Joel, this is one of the reasons you actually bring in Jeff to speak to your clients?
Yeah, most of our clients are getting close to retirement or they're already retired, Kara, as you well know. And the importance to us of bringing in people like Jeff and other experts is we want to speak to the issues that are pertinent to people that are 55 and older. You know, what's going on in their lives. And so we bring in experts on those subjects. About every 6 months we do a big client event. We just had Jeff at a big client event earlier this week talking about things like identity theft and scams and online scams and so on and so forth. And it's just so important these days that we get this information to our clients so they're protected.
And what do you, there's so much we need to know, but what do you wish people knew that you don't think most of them do know?
Well, mostly they should consider doing two things right away. Setting up their online Social Security account. Regardless of your age, you can set that up, but particularly at 62, because that's when someone, if they got your information, they can set up an online Social Security account using a stolen identity and then have their Social Security benefits, the victim, sent to the criminal's bank account. So you don't want to mess with that. I mean, that's a big deal to clean up. So setting up that online Social Security account is particularly important. Also freezing credit reports, because there's been so many breaches involving Social Security numbers that criminals can open up credit card accounts, they can use, open up loans, get loans in your name, and if that happens, again, a big mess to clean up. But they can't do those things if you freeze your credit reports.
And I have one of those services. I don't know if you need them, but I have, right on the app, I can just press lock. Do you need a service, or can you just freeze your, how do you freeze your credit report?
Yeah, there's a site you go to. Each of the credit reporting agencies has a specific page on their website that allows you to freeze it, and you can lift the freeze anytime you want to get credit checked yourself. The criminal can't open up those accounts in your name if it's frozen. You still can open those up when you lift the freeze for a temporary period of time.
Okay. So those are two things that we can do right now. And have you seen this? A lot of times, sadly, your clients getting scammed or losing money because of how great these criminals are with their techniques now?
Yeah, they're so crafty, and what we've seen a few things. Usually it involves somebody deceiving the client at a very basic level, the client giving out information, and then it goes much, much deeper than that. So, for instance, client gets a call, says, hey, you're behind on your taxes, you didn't file your taxes, we need to, you know, if you don't give us some information right away today, you're going to get a letter from the IRS. So they're pretending to be the IRS, and then all of a sudden the client releases a bunch of information to them. So it's usually very, very crafty, manipulative, playing on a senior who is going to be nervous about things like the IRS or a grandchild being in trouble or something like that.
Right. And AI, I mean, does that make it even worse?
Particularly with the grandchild scam or grandparent scam, where they're taking voices and putting them through an AI program. They record them from a video on TikTok of a victim's grandchild, and then they make it say anything that they want, and that is even more convincing for a potential grandchild. So a grandparent. Our recommendation there is to always call up your grandchild or any family member that says they're in trouble at a number you know to be for them, to make sure that they're really in trouble. Have a code word in the family. Tell me the code word to see if it's really them calling you. Otherwise, they may be tricked into providing money under those suspicious circumstances.
Yes, I have heard that we should have a code word, so you endorse that. We should have
100%.
And just make sure everyone in the family knows it, and if you get a phone call and I want to prove it's really you, this is our code word.
Absolutely, because, Kara, they can find out things about people on Facebook and use that to trick someone. It must really be them because they know this and they know this and they know this, but they won't know the code word because that's not going to be on Facebook.
What about all the passwords? It's so hard to keep track of them, and that's hard, I know, for older people especially.
Right. I recommend a password manager, something you can get online. There's free versions, there's paid versions. Check them out for features and pricing. They're great ways to manage your passwords. They're considered to be reliable and secure.
Okay.
I can vouch for those because I have so many passwords for work and also all my outside activities and so on, and I have one of those password managers, and they're great.
Can I just use the one where the phone says, do you want me to save that?
Yes, I think that's fine too.
It is,
They are
okay.
very secure, and they transfer between devices if you have the same devices in all your products, the same brand in all your products. But yes, that's a good way to save passwords as well.
All right, and well, thank you so much
You're
for that
welcome.
information.
Yes.
And Joel, you've given us a lot of things to think about. I always think that I know, but there's some of these scams right now that are coming out, even us as journalists covering them. I feel like, what? This one looks interesting. I got to double check it. So that's the main thing. Also, just when in doubt, don't.
That's correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Both of you, thank you so much for sharing this super important information. Thank you for being here.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Kara.